Hello, I'm here with Srinivas Yogi Arka. He is a world-renowned philosopher and teacher, and has many thousands of devotees and supporters worldwide, from England to India to New Zealand to Canada to Fiji Islands to so many different places. So it's very special to have this opportunity. I've known him actually for more than 30 years from when we first met. And we are now in Arka ashram, which is a fairly large ashram with cows, and there's a large school with hundreds of kids. I think it was 400 kids, is that right? Or more than that, or less than that? So it's an honor to be here with you. Thank you. If I can ask you a question, what would you say would be your mission of what you're trying to accomplish?
Help and assist in every way I can individuals to explore their profundity unrecognized hitherto, add more value to their presence, and they are incarnations. Each person is an incarnation of higher consciousness, and each person is like a star in the Milky Way of humanity. And each one has some unique purpose. We cannot enter the world without a meaningful purpose. So that purpose should be explored and expressed, and thus feel fulfillment. As flowers blossom to the fullest, so also each human being must blossom, must become unfolded, and then offer their best to the world for the development of human consciousness, science, philosophy, and then their consciousness.
So I understand from knowing you for so long, enlightenment is a big aspect of what many people say that you represent in terms of peak consciousness or an idealized form of human consciousness. Would you say you're enlightened, or what definition would you have for enlightenment?
Not everything is definable. There are few things at least. Enlightenment is one of those. Is experienceable, not much definable. We can attempt, but that will not suffice that its true meaning. If you say you are enlightened, meaning what about others? Are they not enlightened? And if you say you're enlightened, then you have to put yourself on some level. There has to be a yardstick to measure. When it is palpable, tangible, then you have to. It must also be measurable. So they miss the main focus and the purpose. If you say you are not enlightened, then when will you become enlightened? So I won't get into that circle of doing the same thing, churning the same milk or butter, but we have to make a leap towards higher consciousness. How about viewing that everyone is enlightened? Maybe they have forgotten their enlightenment. Everyone has a spark of higher consciousness. Everyone is light. At the end of the day, luminosity may vary from individual to individual depending upon how much they have explored and recognized themselves and cherished their own inner being. And for an enlightened person, everyone is really enlightened by birth, and later on they drift away from their own center, from their own heart, and they become embroiled in the network of brain, which is also necessary, but not to dwell in the mind alone for too long. Then you have to find time to get back home, to return to your heart.
What do you think of the idea that perhaps people are like gods that are suffering from amnesia, that being in the physical body with all of its many distractions and the conditioning from birth by society and culture perhaps has caused people to kind of forget the deeper nature of who they are that maybe they had a glimpse of when they were an innocent child?
Absolutely, that's what I meant. Sure, that you may call it re-enlightenment, and that doesn't happen only once in lifetime. It happens again and again. Often you seek, rarely it happens without your much effort. But some way there has to be some deeper wish to become enlightened, meaning to become fully opened up for infinite possibilities and crossing all limits, and not a hue of doubt or skepticism, no questions, no confusion. It's clear, absolutely clear, and you are so closely connected with your inner conscious spirit, which is timeless, meaning although you are time bound, in deep down you are timeless, and you feel it, not understanding, you feel it all the time, and the timelessness. Although dwelling in the time bound body, you are largely timeless. That meaning in one lifetime you experience several transmigrations. So your learning will be so concentrated, your looks will be so broad, so high, so deep, so profound.
Well, now from what I observe, we seem to be at a very unique juncture in human history where we have AI and emerging technologies and virtual reality and many distractions or potential distractions for people. And how would you say at this juncture in human history, how enlightenment and spirituality can play a part?
Spirituality will always be shining as much science and technology will shine, because science and technology has come after, whereas spirituality is called in Sanskrit adhyatmikata, meaning it was and it is and it will be. It is the truest spirit of being in consciousness, in matter, and in such infinite space. So spirituality will always be needed, vibrant and dynamic. Without that spiritual awareness and consciousness, AI cannot be recognized or utilized or appreciated.
That sounds beautiful. I have a theory that the internet and global communications have arrived at this specific point because it now can allow a broad dissemination of higher knowledge and to inspire many people globally for maybe a mass spiritual awakening or revival that we haven't yet seen before in human history. What do you think about that concept? Because I also know that of Kali Yuga, they talk about the age of darkness and ignorance. Do you see the technology as being an arm of Kali Yuga, or could it possibly be a doorway into a new age of purity?
Yes, this AI technology is not new. It existed in history. One could do research, then one would know, and that is the most sensitive tool of our intelligence, natural intelligence, that's made artificial. It means objectively available to everyone. Everyone can access. Now that device, the machine, imitating human brain, human active conscious brain, but that is only just like a subsidiary tool to human natural intelligence, human natural intuition, human natural spirit. So it was there before, and it is now here. It will continue to be there, knowingly or unknowingly. That technology will evolve only to embrace finally spirituality, to merge with spiritual way of living, spiritual way of thinking, spiritual way of experiencing. But AI will shine through for some time, but eventually people realize it has its limitations. So we should take that as complementary for us to become reminded who we are, because we got better comparison now, so that we'll appreciate more of our naturalness. And as much as we appreciate AI, it's like a wonder. And then who are you appreciating and admiring? It's back your own self through the device, through the tools. So it will change routinely in many people's lives, but not to the extent of really affecting their presence, their well-being, their naturalness, their intuition, and their feelings, and their respect for their presence in the world.
And from what also I find interesting about you is you not only are embracing the modern, but you also have your roots in ancient Sanskrit and the traditional Vedas and Sanatan Dharma, what they call Hinduism. I don't like the word Hindu actually, because it's not really an old word, it's a new colonial word.
Correct.
But how does the old religion of puja and Sanatan Dharma, how does that relate to modern times? Because you're very involved with it, you teach it, and you initiate the Brahmin priests and everything.
Yes. The sun is never old. We may call it yes old. Okay, when we calculate it from the emergence of the sun from Big Bang, as well as other planets, but always vibrant. So also the rest of the planets and even galaxies. So Dharma is always present, like our breath. So mantras, eternal. They're eternal. They're as long as there is space and there are bodies, and there must be consciousness to organize itself and to become self-proactive in bringing colorful variety and diversity in oneness. So yes, mantras are still valid, dharma is still there, and it won't affect what you in the modernity, modernness, Modernness is only facility for you to move along, to economize time. Like you're using AI, you economize your time, you achieve so much. Yes, and stimulates you to become more active and agile, and go with the pace of the world. Yes, but yes, it's still possible.
So with Sanatana Dharma being an important religion of India, I know that talking to you before, you've mentioned that it's actually true reality. It's not really a religion. It goes beyond religion.
Yes.
But how would you also relate to other religions besides the religion of India, like Christianity or
Yes,
Judaism
yes,
or whatever?
Yes. To me, religions are somewhat regional, whereas spirituality is universal, all embracing. And religion is also like a container which holds the content of spirituality. People, they are followers of certain religion, practitioners of certain religion, they are supposed to appreciate more of the content within than the container itself. When you worship only the container, one becomes fanatic and zealous. So spirituality, spiritual wisdom, spiritual energies, some inspirations or insight in the container of religion. So we have to absorb and appreciate and acknowledge those such essence. And then religion also is like a runway. One has to take off from there to the heights of spiritual consciousness, to spiritual consciousness or conscious awareness, not to go aground always. So religion is just the runway, and many people stay there. They won't take off, and they won't be able to answer questions challenged by their own children, their own experts, maybe academics or skeptics and scientists. They cannot convince them. Truth can convince anyone. And our emotion cannot convince everyone. So emotion is for you, and also to empathize with other people's emotions, but not to convince everyone. So people, you don't have to convince, people will be convinced, people will welcome if there is truth.
That's an interesting point, because I think we both can agree the importance of love and truth, and you mentioned it in your writings as well. How would you say the relationship is between love and truth? What are the differences and similarities, and like what's the difference between love and truth?
Love is from the heart, and truth is in our rationality, in our logic, sometimes in our intellectual and intellectual workout. And so you truth is, they are not contradictory, they are one. Two faces of the same coin. You may call it love also is a form of truth. Truth is also a form of higher love as well. So knowledge, the pure knowledge, pure gnan, emotionless, pure knowledge, in the sense unbiased. When you want to give judgment, when you are truly emotional, it will be hard for you to give unbiased judgment. Or so as we were doing justice profession. So that's truth. Truth is, you may not like, but that's truth. That's
Like
powerful.
equanimity, like
Equanimity, and truth connects everybody as much as love connects. And we need both to balance life. Or we cannot, like mother and father are always like two forces. We need yin and yang.
So would you say truth is more like father and love is more like mother?
Maybe whatever the way they want to perceive. Sometimes fathers also have motherliness. Motherliness is only the feeling part, the kindness, compassion. Linguistically, that's how Sanskrit and other languages work. Even in Spanish language, the gender is not based upon the biological framework, but the nature.
I know recently gender can be a bit controversial.
Exactly.
But in regards to animals and humans, I know that you've had talks about how animals communicate, and there's a lot of similarities, and mysteries about animals that maybe we're not aware of and how they can communicate.
Absolutely. Yes.
And do you have an opinion in terms of one thing I think special about humans is that it seems to me that only a human can become enlightened and become a master. I've not heard of master penguins before or master lions. That it seems to me that only humans have the capacity to be custodians, at least on Earth, of all of the species and to take care of the environment and preserve the planet. And it's our responsibility to take care of these things.
Yes.
Do you have anything to add about that?
No, anything that seems biased or prejudiced or favoring only one thing and ignoring the rest, I don't think that's truthfulness. Truthfulness is like light, like sunlight. Sunlight spreads throughout that at least that Mars region of Earth planet, and without distinction, without differentiating, without any little hesitation, sunlight goes all embracing, wherever possible, whether it is not pleasant for us to see, but still sunlight goes there. Something really very beautiful, still there is sunlight. So that's how we are able to see and communicate and respond. So also truth is like it should be all welcoming, all embracing. There has to be commonality in everything. Otherwise, we cannot exist on one planet and share the same space and same sunlight and same elements, same forces as well. Maybe forms of existence may be different, but they do have. But the universe is so accommodating; it will not restrict anybody from growing, anybody from blossoming, including animal species. If they gather some evolution and then improve with their sparked awareness, maybe they can. Then the body form will change. Based on thoughts, their body appearance, body structure, morphological, everything will change. So we can change our bodies now with our thoughts, provided we are really serious with the changing of the body. With our thoughts, we can. We have to do a lot of work, but thoughts generate certain body based according to its the thought nature of thought itself. Seriously, so animals can evolve.
Sure, and I love animals. I'm not trying to take away animals' right to become enlightened or something.
But dictatorial.
But I am a speciesist in that I do prioritize humans over animals because of the fact that
Yes. We are placed that way at the top of evolution. Whether we agree or don't agree, we are at the top. We are the custodians of the planet and the rest of the species, non-human species as well, plants and trees and everything. So it's our responsibility. We can't be so cruel. We should try and protect, appreciate environment, nature, and the other species as much as we can. That's part of our evolution, part of our growth, part of our well-being, our holistic well-being.
Sure, and I mean part of the extreme side is there are those that may even regard humans as like a cancer on Earth, that are a plague, and that they would rather reduce the human population so that the plants and the animals can survive and thrive, and that humans might be somehow inhibiting that, and so that could actually justify some kind of evil of some conspiracy about vaccines or whatever.
Yes. I feel quite sorry for such a handful of people who view the world, nature, from such through some such small window. It's infinite. One has to get out of our greed, our excessive needs, and our profession or career. We had to step out of everything with the truest feeling that I had nothing to gain from anybody. I want to know the truth. I want to offer something to humanity, to society, to communities, and to the world. When we say, when we have no agenda of ours, then we will be led in the right direction. If you have any agenda, we always see the world as your property, and you own the world. You can never own anything, including your own body, because everything belongs to you. There's nothing to own. But if people really pursue that approach, and they cannot be of any service, any help to themselves. I think nature is so has upper hand. It will just take over. Nature likes, higher nature likes everyone to share, care, and respect each other, and to maintain their healthy distance. And maintain harmony and peace. But if one particular community or a group of people or a handful of people come to dominate, nature wouldn't tolerate. Something will again automatic process of bringing big fresh changes again. That's how it works.
Well, I really admire what you're doing here, and I would love to see more expansion on and have you to have ashrams or temples or learning centers all around the world, and to have
Thank you.
very fruitful abundance and thriving consciousness, because I think you're an inspiration for so many people, and yeah, I wish more people were like you, definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.